it's like I'm on TikTok and I use it just for my own personal scrolling and stuff. But as far as like making it, I just never have mustered up the balls to do it, you know?
You should, man. That's how you connect to the Zoomers. Like we got to connect to the Zoomers.
Right, huh? That's exactly what I'm saying.
Welcome to the 86th episode of the Cast that Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is the show where I interview bands and public figures from the mathcore and mathcore adjacent communities. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them and I'll try to read them aloud. If you'd like to subscribe for $5, you get access to some exclusive emotes, as well as early access to all the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming platforms. You can also sub for free by attaching an Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. It's like taking $5 from Jeff Bezos' pocket and putting it into mine. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this in your car and have no idea what I'm talking about, the show is first recorded live on Twitch. Join us every Sunday and Wednesday at twitch.tv/thecasttheendcreation for the live cast. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest today, who is dropping their debut self-titled EP this Friday through Cliff Parade Records. Welcome in Nick from Bucky. How's it going?
Hey guys.
You're frozen, by the way, but we still got your audio, so we're good to go. We're good to keep going. Oh, there you go. You just unfroze. Alrighty. Tell us who you are, what you do in the band.
I play guitar. My name's Nick. I play guitar and I do vocals as well as all the ambient shit. I don't know. I make noise pretty much.
Okay. Straight up. So there's a good amount of other bands called Bucky. Why take on that name? And are you like afraid that you're gonna get mixed up with other bands or get less traffic because of your name?
Oh, not at all. I mean, we didn't want to call it Bucky. Originally the name was Bucky Mc, and that's a joke. It's a Fairly Odd Parents joke. So but
Bucky McWhat?
Bucky Bad, but it's a Fairly Odd Parents. A spoof on one of the characters, Fairly Odd Parents. The name is a joke. It's hilarious. But
why'd you shorten it to Bucky?
Just marketing stuff. So we felt like it would be cooler with logo to just call it Bucky, and that's what we call it anyway between me and Luke. So,
and you added the period, I guess, to stand out a little bit.
A little, yeah. The period wasn't supposed to be on there until I was looking through Spotify, and I was like, "Why are there so many people called Bucky?" And I was like, "All right, fuck it. Well, I'm gonna put a period on the end. It's like if they want to really find out who it is, just drop the period."
And it works too. I didn't think it was gonna actually pick up anything different, but it definitely does. Hilarious.
Yeah, we show up. Just have to period.
So there's not a whole lot of. Oh, I'm sorry.
I said the funniest part about that is that when you go on Bandcamp, we changed our name to Bucky, but you can still type in Bucky McBadbat, will show up.
So there's not a whole lot of info on you guys. Tell us how you got together.
Well, me and we've been playing in bands together for three or 4 years now. We have a multitude of projects together, and
oh really?
I met him at a show when I was real young, like still in high school, and I really liked his band, and I would follow his band around while they played shows and shit, and eventually they asked me to be in it, you know, and the way that Bucky kind of happened was we would get together more often, and it would just be me and him, drink a few beers, and just fucking hop on the fucking kit, I'll hop on the guitar, and we just start fucking around with shit. We made a bunch of like spoof power violence bands and shit, and
just
then
a couple of dudes being bros. I like it.
Fucking couple of dudes being bros, drinking beers, fucking making fast fucking hard music, and then eventually the hardcore music got a little more emotional, and it turned into Bucky. And we didn't have any when we first started. We had no songs, and we had already a show book. And
that's the way you do it, man. You do the shows first, and then you start writing.
we would like we would get on our shit and just scream in the fucking air, and I would rip off like worse songs and fucking Taking Back Sunday riffs and shit, and just screamo vocals over them. Yeah.
It's fucking I saw a post on Instagram and mentioned you guys did a demo about 2 years ago. I couldn't find anything like that though. Is that something that exists?
Oh, it did exist. The funny thing about that demo is that our Levi, the Cliff Parade guy, he took it down on accident, and I was like, oh no, it's cool. Like I'll put it back up. I just never did. I haven't put it back up yet. But yeah, I love that demo. I hate that I love it so much, but I do. And it's gonna be re-uploaded probably on YouTube, but it's gonna be up there.
Hell yeah. Well, like you gotta love what you make, right? Like if you don't love it, why the fuck are you making it? You know what I mean? So is that
Yeah.
the only other recorded thing that you've done besides this EP?
Yeah, as far as Bucky goes, this is the only thing that we've done. Just the demo and then EP that's about to come out next week.
So like you said, you're dropping it on Cliff Parade Records. How'd you meet up with Levi?
It I don't that the way that happened, that was crazy. We were writing the record and had already had our Instagram set up and we were on our way to record it. So we had nothing recorded yet. And I dropped like a 15-second snippet of us practicing one of the songs. And eventually, I don't know how Levi got a hold of it, but he did. And he hit me up and he was just like, you guys are sick. And I was like, oh, thanks. Just thinking like, I didn't know who the fuck this guy was. And he's all, oh, like I'm starting Cliff Parade, this label called Cliff Parade Records. And he's like, I thought he was just showboating because he was like, oh, I'm about to drop this band called Up Death. Like they're going to be doing their discography or whatever. I don't know if they're still doing that or nothing, but, and I was like, oh shit, like real? Like Up Death? That's crazy. And then he was like, I want to put your guys' record out on my label. And I was like, all right, go ahead. Like we haven't even started recording it, but I'm
Dude, that's crazy, man. What? I thought that y'all must have like known each other or something like that. Like it's crazy because you hadn't even played a show at this point. You there? Alrighty, well this part's getting cut out. So we're back here with Nick. I guess your phone was overheating and it just decided to crap out on you. So here we are.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, we were talking about how you got on Cliff Parade Records. That's crazy that Levi just like picked you up out of like nowhere because y'all hadn't played a show or anything at that point, right?
No, not a legit show yet. We had taken like a hiatus and came back. My plan was to just come back with a record and that was gonna be it. It's gonna be done, you know. But yeah, he picked up like out of the blue, out of a handful of bands that he could have picked anybody. And yeah, it was crazy how that worked out, but you know, we're grateful that it worked out the way that it did.
Right, and putting you out on vinyl too, like it's like a pretty big step for a bit.
Yeah, that was one of my goals as far as like a career. My musical career was to get myself on vinyl, you know, with one of my projects, and you know, fortunately, you know, Levi was the man to step it up and do it.
So what are your influences going into this? I could tell you got like, a lot of like power violence stuff going on, but you got like some of that melodic screamo stuff at some points. So yeah, how do you put it all together?
Well, I mean, my biggest influence as far as like doing B has always been Jerome Stream for sure. Love that band so much. Seeing Means More Than Safety. That's one of the greatest records. But I also take a lot of influences with my writing from bands like, you know, Slipknot. I love Slipknot. Korn for sure. And a lot of power violence. I spent a lot of time listening to like power violence. I came up through the scene through like hardcore, so there's a lot of hardcore bands that I'm super down with. And yeah, that's about it, you know.
Nice. If I could ask you real quick, can you move your phone either to the right of you or you move over to the left a little bit? Because the sun's like glaring through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Wait, a little bit better over here. Okay.
Dude, there we go. Nice. And we get a full picture of the room. I love it. So how does the writing process work with you guys?
See, the way that, like I was saying before, the way that it was we would just get in the room and just start screaming and playing riffs and stuff. Um, there was a couple songs on this record coming out that are like that too, but
So you never actually sat down and were like, "Oh, this riff's fucking sick. Like, let's reiterate on this." It was just like screaming, and then at the end of it, you're like, "Oh, this is fucking great."
yeah, I mean, like I had like pre-written a few riffs, and I would take them to Luke and be like, "Oh, this riff's sick," like, and then I would kind of like construct a little bit of it with him, but then eventually it just all came to like us just jamming it, and then eventually like it would just form into a song, you know, which like practicing it up until the point that we went to go write this period was like super messy, was never really finished until we were just like, I guess that's just how it's gonna go, you know, and then put it in the studio. And if it's recorded like that, that's the way that we got to learn, and that's the way we're gonna play it, you know.
Okay.
And then all the lyrics written in the studio. So
So up to
up
the
until
point
then,
of you like recording, you had no idea what the fuck you were gonna say on the song.
no, I mean I had ideas, like I kind of, but as soon as like it came down to do the vocals, I was just all right. I guess let's start writing right now. You know, gotta finish, you know.
Okay, that's. So
Yeah.
I couldn't find lyrics for the two singles you got up now, but why don't you tell us a little bit about your lyrics? What are like the themes and such?
Ugh, those are dark. But it's very dark. It's dealing with a lot of like uh watching growing up and watching the world like crumble beneath me, and I can't do shit about it, you know.
Jesus.
So it yeah. So like the two singles that we have now, like Oh Boy 306 AM, that one's that I want to say that's like accepting death a little bit, because it's like all the lyrics will be posted eventually, but I didn't want to give away too much when we dropped those singles. But it says, "Close your eyes, enjoy the view, endless black thoughts undo." So it's like kind of like you're like fading out of life, and like you're conscious of it, you know.
Well,
And
why
then
3:06 a.m.?
that's a joke for it's a Jerome Stream homage.
Oh, okay.
Every day at 3:06 a.m. Uh, And then a few other bands did. Our good friends, No Worries, they did a spoof off of that title too, which is really funny on their demo, which they never want me to talk about, but I think that demo was so great. No Worries from Stockton. But yeah, I was just like, why, you know, uh, to pay homage to it. It's kind of funny. It's also a SpongeBob joke. So, oh boy, 3 a.m. 3:06, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's legit. What about the other
Yeah.
song?
Yeah, that I gotta think about what I say in that song. Initially, like the concept for that one was uh like you're riding in an ambulance, and you're all anesthetized and you can't feel anything, but like you could just you could see them like working around you, uh, and trying to save your life, but you're on your way out. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And towards the middle of the song, I started writing more about like, do I really want to go through with it? You know, it's very the lyrical themes of this record are very dark, and I never thought that I could have pulled that out of my ass the way that I did, because all my other bands that I've ever been in is have been like bullshit power violence bands where it's everything's about like fart jokes and beer and shit, but uh and then like I was in a few shoegaze bands too, and all those lyrical themes are, I don't know, just being a drunken stupor and a mess of a person. But with Bucky, it's I'm pulling a lot of different themes out that have to deal with death and destruction, and watching the world, and from a almost from a third person point of view. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, that's crazy,
Yeah.
man. How fast did you write these lyrics? Like, is it all in one day or?
It took me about a week to like sit down and try to write them all. I had all the recordings already done, all the lyrics and everything were done, and then wanted to sit down and bust down on the lyrics. It took me probably a good week, like a few sessions of just sitting and writing. Um,
Oh, okay, I thought you were
I would try
saying
to,
that you did it as y'all were recording, like in the studio.
yeah. I mean, there was times where like I was like sitting down, I was like, all right, we're doing vocals today, and I was in the living room of my homie's house, like we had our recording booth set up in the closet, and I was sitting on the couch, just like busting out lyrics, listening to the record over and over and over again, and trying to get what I needed to say out,
Mm-hmm. Well,
And it was all the lyrics were all like a collaborative effort between me and Lucas too, because he has his parts that he did. He wrote all of his stuff.
I was gonna ask. It did seem like that both of y'all were doing vocals, but I wasn't completely
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
he wrote different stuff, but it was a collaborative effort. The whole record was a collaborative effort.
so like when y'all writing lyrics, how do y'all make that sound like it's coming from the same point of view rather than like two different people like making up shit?
Well, I mean, I would sit down and I had my parts of the song done, and I would just hand them the book and just be like, okay, I'm gonna sing this here, I'm gonna sing this here. It's like, go ahead and just sing your part here, and read what I'm saying, and write what you want to, try to make it sound, on point, on par with it.
Alrighty, pretty straightforward. Yeah, I like it. Uh, so we were talking about recording. So I mixed and mastered it, but who did the actual recording?
That was our friend Ku Yang. He's a black metal dude. He loves black metal, and he's recorded all of our projects um, in the last like 3 years. He recorded our power violence bands, and he did our shoegaze bands. Like he did all like the real releases, the stuff that we didn't like bullshit, just throw a mic in the room and shit. Um, so he did all that, and initially we were gonna have him mix and master it, but when it came down to it, and Levi threw you our way, we were like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna go with him. And thank God, because the way that it came out now, you are very talented. And you
Thanks,
very
man.
beat up that record, and now it sounds pristine.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. So we got the album cover up on screen now. Who did the art for that?
That was Levi's friend Andy Ciasco. He's a dark artist um, from San Francisco, I believe, and we were given three options with artists for recommendation, and it was crazy because the first one of the first artists that we had was he did a lot of like scene style work where they had the big ass bubble letters and like fucking super bright and colorful, and I was like, that's crazy, like that's good, but that wasn't what it was. And we found Andy and his artwork. He has such like a gloominess and such like a grim style to his artwork, and I was like, that's the guy. And I think he did work on Worm, WVRM. He did
Oh,
some artwork for. So I was like, as soon as I seen that he did that, and yeah, I was like, that's our guy, dude. Like, and then it took him like 2 weeks to get it done, and the final result of the artwork, it shocked me when I seen it first. I was like, that's not real, that's not ours. And then it took me a couple minutes to like he busted his ass doing that shit, and it looks so good.
so did you give him any direction, or did he just come up with this on his own?
I gave him uh screenshots of his previous work that he had done, and I was like, I really like this one, I really like this one, and I really like this one, and it's like, and I gave him like just the lyrical themes for the album, and I just said, go crazy, do what you want, I trust you, like you're a good artist, so I trust what you're gonna do, and sure enough, he showed out, and he did his, I feel like he's one of his best on our career.
Does the woman on here have any? I assume it's a woman anyway. Does she have any like anything to do with the lyrics and stuff like that or the themes?
I thought it looked like a dude.
Oh, okay.
Honestly,
I don't know,
it's
man. Like it. Okay, I mean, I can see that too. It just looked like it was like hair,
a
like longer,
humanoid.
like longer hair on him.
That's the humanoid dude, humanoid creature. I don't know. It's the way that it looks. It does have to do with the album for sure because he's got his throat slit and it's bleeding out like it looks like he's dead.
Yeah.
And as far as like the album, like I was saying, it's like it's super dark and it deals with the ideation of death and glorifying it almost, like just imagining it and uh flirting with the idea, and I feel like that it really captures it, and the themes, the colors on the artwork are really dark. He
Right.
uses a lot of black, a lot of grayscales and stuff, and I feel like that uh, really captured the sound of it, and in the cover, and as well like displayed like what exactly I feel like the album is about.
Is it an actual painting?
I believe he did it with pencil. I
Oh
don't know how
shit.
he did it. Yeah.
Do you own the original?
No, that was
Dude, you
all.
gotta
It was
buy
all
it.
sent to Levi. It was all sent to Levi, and then Levi just put it in my face, and I was like, "That fucking sick."
Dude, you gotta get a hold of it,
Like,
man. Hang it up in the practice room.
right? That's what I think we're gonna have extra sleeves when it comes time for our vinyl to come. So I'll probably frame it. That is sick. That
Uh,
was done for us.
so we got a random question here. I ask all the bands. What do you put on your hot dogs?
My hot dogs.
Yeah.
I'm a I'm a ketchup. I just do straight up ketchup. Just only
You, I
ketchup.
could
That's it.
not disagree further. To me, ketchup is just way too sweet, man.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm more of a
I
like
never really liked.
mustard or sriracha kind of guy, honestly.
No, I never really liked a lot of shit on my hot dogs. I was always I grew up being a picky eater, so uh, I never did the relish thing or mustard. I never liked mustard. Uh, so I always just like fucking cook that shit over the barbecue and fucking just slap some ketchup on it. You're good. Tastes like a hot dog.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So why aren't you guys on like Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, any of these other platforms? You're only on Instagram. I am Bandcamp.
Yeah. I mean, Facebook, I never, I don't even have my own Facebook. I don't even have a personal Facebook. um, I am on Twitter, and I kind of like, it's funny because my personal Twitter kind of is like morphing into being like the promotional Twitter for like Bucky. I just constantly promoting on Twitter about the album if I'm not promoting on Instagram. I feel like Instagram is a really easy platform to connect with people, especially nowadays.
Right. The reach is a
'Cause
lot further than like Facebook.
yeah, exactly. Because the hashtags they take you to a whole hub of the same stuff.
Right,
Um,
but I feel like Facebook is more personal. Like you can actually like connect with people a little bit more. Instagram's more like, hey, look at this picture, leave a comment or whatever if you like it. But
yeah,
Facebook is more about like generating an actual connection.
yeah. Well, I never got into Facebook was the thing. Like I had my like technically have a personal Facebook, but I don't ever use it.
Hmm.
I've had some teams where like I've had Facebook email me and they're like, somebody's trying to get into your Facebook, and I'm like, what the hell? Like I don't even use Facebook, so now I have to go and deactivate it because somebody's trying to steal my account that I don't use. But
Jesus.
no,
So it's not an aversion
Instagram,
to like social media or whatever. It's just that that's the way it worked out that you just use Instagram really.
is the way that it goes. I feel like I use Instagram the most, and for one, and I feel like it's easier for me to connect with people on Instagram. You
Hmm.
know, yeah, it's easier to get it outreach on Instagram rather than any other platform for me to promote, this project.
What about TikTok?
I've been thinking about doing it, but I can't. I don't have the confidence to do TikTok.
Dude, you should, man. Like, I joined. I didn't have any followers or anything like that. First thing I did was post a music
uh,
video, and I got 500 views in like a day. It's pretty crazy.
that's crazy. Yeah, I seen that. I seen your TikToks before too.
Oh, you
They're
have?
fucking hilarious. Yeah. I think they're funny. I think they're clever. Uh, I don't know. I don't have the confidence to do TikTok. I want to do it so bad. I feel like it would be super fun to do. It's like I'm on TikTok and I use it just for my own personal scrolling and stuff. But as far as like making it, I just never have mustered up the balls to do it.
You should, man. That's how you connect to the Zoomers. Like, we gotta connect to the Zoomers.
Right, huh? That's exactly what I'm saying. I gotta get on it. All the punk kids on TikTok. I want them to listen to my shit too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
guys did your first show. I didn't write down the date, but it was pretty recently. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how it went?
It was a long drive. Um,
Where was it?
think it was in Tracy, which is about an hour, maybe like 45 minutes from San Francisco. And I had never played a show in Tracy before, and we were looking at it like it wasn't going to be that good, but it turned out really well. The kids that showed up, they were super nice and they were super down. You know, they were really into it. Um, they moshed their hearts out. You know, fucking some kid got his fucking shit knocked out within like the first two songs. Uh,
I assume that's
I was
like
like,
a suburb that's kind of like farther away from the city, right? The way that you're describing it.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
seems
It's
like places
so
like that are like starved for shows, so like people come out to
it is.
anything.
Well, we're from the Central Valley, which is like dead center in the middle of California. Which
Okay.
all love for the CV. But no, we never have shows out here. Shows are super hard to come by out here, and up in Tracy, you don't see a lot of shows happening up there. But it was a lot of the thing was is that there was a lot of crust punks, so
There's a lot
they
of
were
what?
just crust punks. So they just
Oh,
mobbed. They
okay.
were coming from all over the place. Then none of them were even from Tracy. They were all coming from Auburn, up all the way up north in Auburn, from Manteca, from the Bay and shit. And they were all really down for it. I was really happy that they did that.
Dude, that's
They showed
sick.
up. Yeah,
Who'd you play
and we
with?
weren't supposed to do that show either.
Oh, you just like got on last minute or something?
Yeah, we got on last minute. We It was supposed to be one of my other bands that was supposed to play, but it was an outdoor venue, and we were like, we're a shoegaze band. I don't think outdoor is going to sound very well for us.
Hmm.
So we just said, fuck it, let's just do Bucky. And yeah, I'm glad we did that instead of the other band. Because one, that band was on its way out anyway, and two, Bucky's coming up, and I feel like I had a lot more fun doing that than I would have any other project. But
Well,
yeah, it went
since
really well.
y'all jumped on it so last minute, were y'all like prepared? Did y'all know the songs and stuff?
Oh yeah, we've been uh rehearsing it, pretty much every single chance that we get,
Hmm.
and we just came out of recording it too. So we were constantly listening to it and constantly critiquing it. And so by the time that it came down to us playing a show, yeah, we were all the way ready for it. But we didn't practice that whole week up until the day of it. So that was crazy. We literally practiced and we packed our shit up. We were like, all right, we gotta go. Let's go. We just showed up, played our shit. Fucking yeah. But we didn't have too many fuck ups. So that was fortunate for that. um,
The minimal amount of fuck ups, the best amount.
Minimal amount of fuck up. It sounded like a screamo band for sure, but as much as you can't fuck up with a screamo band.
So, what's in the future for Bucky?
We've been talking with other bands from the Valley about doing a three-way split with our friends from No Worries and our friends from Don't Cry for Me. We're in a talking stage of it where we want to all contribute 2 songs and do like an homage to Central Valley Screamo with the 3 bands that are doing it right now. And there's not really a an estimated release date on that yet, but it's in the works. We're working on it. We're writing new music currently, booking shows. We have shows coming up. We have one in October with Hawak from San Jose, previously members of Matsuri, and our friends Don't Cry for Me, I'm Already Dead, and Elder Devil are going to be on it. And we're playing one in our hometown on Halloween with our good friends from Nailed Down and Under Ego and Rise and Strike. Because that one's going to be fun. And then, just playing more shows, writing more shit,
Do you have any touring in mind?
Yeah, we do. I want to really bad get on the road with this. I just have to find the time and the funds to do it,
Right.
But eventually it's going to go on tour. We've been making, the craziest thing about this project is how many connections I've made so far and not even releasing a self-titled yet, like an EP.
Right.
Like, literally, some of my like best screamo band friends right now is Possession 1981 from Michigan. It's like I've never met them personally, but they've always been they've been super supportive of us, and I'm like, I don't know why. It's like, you guys sound really fucking good, but I would like to do something with them. Maybe one day. We talked about doing something, maybe sometime in 2022. And we have our sister bands here. I want to see if we can do something with them. Eventually, go from the West Coast, just branch out east. Eventually hit up Michigan. That would be sick.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what was the last thing you listened to, either a song or an album?
I was literally, before we got on this call, I was listening to Taking Back Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've never gotten too deep into them, but what were you listening to specifically?
Fuck, I forgot which album it was. Not the one with Cute Without an E in it, the one that came out after it. The one with the naked baby on it. Came out like 2000.
It's been so long, man. I'm not really sure which one you're talking about.
Yeah. I used to have the CD for that one, which is crazy. But I gave it away to a girl because I hadn't listened to it. And I was kind of talking to her a little bit, and I was just like, simpy emo boy, and I was like, do you like At the Drive-In or Taking Back Sunday? And she was like, I like Taking Back Sunday. So I gave her that, and eventually just,
hey, real quick, when you moved your phone, you unfroze because you've been frozen for a long time. I don't know what you did, but now you're frozen again. I don't know if you could do that again.
Better?
Nah, you're still frozen. It's all good though, man. Your audio's working. It's fine.
Okay. For sure.
So what's your album of the year so far?
Fucking Trail of Guilt. We Are Always Alone.
Dude, fucking sick.
I've been so hyped on that record ever since it came out, and I was so hyped for it before it came out. Yeah, I pre-ordered that, and I was super stoked when it came out. There's not a bad song on that record.
Have you checked out the single from their Split with Chat Pile?
Yes.
Fucking
that
sick.
Single was absolutely fucking incredible. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love that band because they come out with like live sessions, and they'll play shit like that, and then they won't ever touch up on it until later. And then when it comes out, you're like, I've already heard this song. It's like, good. Now I get a digitized version of it, instead of a live version.
Yeah, man, they're fucking sick. And like now they're doing their own label and shit, which is fucking awesome.
Yes.
Sick band.
That's what
So
I'm talking about.
you can get vinyl and cassettes over at Cliff Parade Records. They're big cartel. I wanted to ask you though, why no shirts? When are we getting shirts?
Shirts are coming. We're working on artwork for them. And then we're gonna do all the shirts, hand print them, and then
like you pressing them like specifically or doing screen printing? Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, we have screen printers for friends. They know how to do all of it. So we're gonna be exercising our homies. We're a very DIY based band, so
putting your homies to work. I like it.
Yeah, put our homies to fucking work. But shirts will be on our way, as soon as we can get them up, But for now, we got the vinyls. We got the pre-order for vinyl. This is gonna be shipping out in October, as well as the cassette. So pick it up, pre-order a copy.
Alrighty, yeah, you can get those over at Cliff Parade Records Big Cartel. I think it's cliffparaderecords.bigcartel. But yeah, it's about all I had to talk about, man. Unless you had something else you want to bring up.
No, that's about all I have to say about it. Thank you for doing this,
dude. Absolutely, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for working on the record too. I never actually personally got to talk to you, and thank you for that.
Oh, dude, it's no problem at all, man. You can come back anytime, dude. And if anybody's looking for help with some audio, you can hit your boy up.
This is the guy, man. He's the guy.
So if you're looking for some aggressive screamo, look no further than Bucky's debut EP, which drops this Friday through Cliff Parade Records. You guys are on Bandcamp, Instagram, and all streaming services. You really should get on Facebook and Twitter, but that's all good, man.
I'm gonna work on it.
Drop my channel follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming services, as well as some exclusive email. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, click on the notification bell, don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at thesoundthatendskreation.bandcamp.com. My next guest is Otis Chamberlain from Infinite Hex, who dropped their debut album Simulacrum and Stimuli last Friday. Join us this Wednesday the 25th at 7 p.m. Central for the live cast. Thanks for being here, Nick. Hope you had a good time.
Thank you.
Hell
I
yeah,
had a blast, man.
And thank you guys for watching and listening.